We're good. We're live. I think it's working. All right. Let's do that a little bit.
Yes. We are alive.
Yeah, I know. We were on the screen already. I'm going to cut all this out anyway. But, okay. Ready? Turn that off. Here we go. All right. Week 1 of the NFL has come and gone. And I'm fucking pissed. That kind of really fucking sucked. But there was a lot of really interesting stuff. And we may or may not see Aaron Rodgers ever again. So, let's get into it. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
Yeah, I had to put on my hat here real quick. Last time I did a show without a hat, the chat was like, oh my god, stop it! What are you doing? Why are we seeing your hair? It's disgusting.
You're showing the bald spot. Ooh, never mind.
Ooh, how dare you? It's not in the front. It's not in the front. How dare you? No, but yeah, week 1 of the NFL, like I said, is come and gone. I think most of our predictions went, I think we're over 50%. By the way, I just realized we need a coin. So if you can go get a coin.
There.
What? Our predictions?
Yeah.
Sure. Go find a coin. Oh, you got one.
Is
Perfect.
the one from last week.
Okay, so now you're going to flip the coin. Over, under, you drop it 3 times.
I don't do this a lot. Well, you have to be the over-under guy.
Okay, 3 times I'm going to say over. Anyway, before we get into all the fun NFL stuff, let me just give you a quick reminder that any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Super Dario World or at Dario SDW on Instagram. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel. If you want to be a part of our little league here, we will be streaming live after every Monday Night Football game. Except next week, because there's 2 there's 2 Monday Night Football games. So after the second one, so after the last game of that said week, we're going to stream, right? That's when we're going to do it. I was also considering doing like little reaction videos. You know, like after Thursday Night Football, just like a little quick reaction thing, load it. You know, while I'm driving in my car, be like, all right, this is what I think. That fucking sucked. That didn't suck. So
you should just do like a quick YouTube short of like big events. Like, holy shit, Aaron Rodgers just got injured.
That seems like too much. Seems like too much. But I'll consider it. The point is, if you want to be part of our league is very simple. You can still be a part of it. Just know that if you join, you will start 3 points 3 points below whoever's in last place, right? So if last place is at 10 points, you would start at 7. You can still catch up. One good week is pretty considerable in our little league here. And so all you have to do is pick a winner for every single game of that week. That's it. No over under, no freaking points, no nothing. Just guess who the winner's gonna be. Whoever gets the most points at the end of the season wins $100. Unless you wanna, it's free. The league is free, but if you wanna add something to the bet, you can. Like I said, it was a pretty interesting week overall, and I guess we could
also
just
keep in mind we went 9-7, both of us, with our picks. So
yeah, it's definitely anybody's league still.
Yeah,
like, I haven't, we haven't tallied the points from. We have 3 listeners who are part of the league right now: Gus, David, and Jose. But because Eric kind of sucked and he didn't do his job, but it's fine.
We can kind of see how they did.
I mean, you can do it right now off the top of your head if you can, but I doubt it. Anyway, let's get into all the fun NFL stuff. Week 1. So we're gonna break down every single game of week 1. Some of them we'll get into more than others because some of them sucked more than others, and some of them infuriated us more than others.
But you know what game did not suck? The season opener.
Oh, it did not. So let's get started. Thursday Night Football. The Lions whooping the Kansas City Chiefs, and I actually they didn't whoop them. It was a pretty close game. It was a very interesting game, but like I told you last week, the Chiefs were not buttoned up. They were not buttoned up, and so. It was actually, I don't think either team played particularly well. I think both teams kind of played I'm not going to say terribly, but they didn't look 100%. However, the Chiefs, the refs just forgave a whole bunch of mistakes that the Taylor, the lineman, was doing. I forget what the call was, but they just forgave him the entire game. He started like 3 feet behind the line.
I don't think he was making a mistake. No, that's I think so. No, it's neutral zone is for the defense,
Yeah,
right?
so I think it's offsides.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, the point is the dude was moving before he was supposed to, and the refs are just like, you know what? I don't see that. It's not like it's a 7-foot tall guy, 300 pounds at least, that I just don't see him move. Anyway, point is, refs showed their bias here, and that made the Lions' victory that much sweeter. Ooh, such sweet, sweet victory.
That being said, Travis Kelce didn't play, and if he did, he would have won.
Yeah,
So,
and if the refs would have done their job, they wouldn't have won. You never know. You never know.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure they would have just,
Point is,
once they saw that they were actually calling that, they would have stopped doing that false start
maybe.
bullshit.
Who knows? The point is, Lions went into Arrowhead. Not an easy place to play in, one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL. On the day that they had the ceremony where, they're raising the champion flag, they're getting the trophy awarded. So the most intimidating situation possible, and they were able to win it out. There was a second, Dan Campbell made some really, really risky decisions. They happened to work out, and it was a solid win at the end. They just ran out 5 minutes off the clock. That was phenomenal.
Mahomes had 2 minutes on the clock. He had all the timeouts. He needed to
stopped
score
him.
1 point, and he couldn't do it.
No, they got stopped.
To be fair, nobody could catch his balls that day.
Dude,
Nobody.
and
Nobody
listen,
at all.
Mahomes did not play particularly well.
Well,
But
because they couldn't catch his fucking balls.
But I was gonna say they're not the reason Mahomes is not the reason they lost. All right, it's the freaking wide receivers who can't catch any balls to save their life.
Like, if the balls are literally bouncing off the hands of your receivers, you're not the problem.
Oh no, definitely not. But point is, Lions win, Chiefs lose. First time in forever, and so that makes me happy. And I called it. The Chiefs, they didn't feel buttoned up. The Lions, I'm not gonna say they're buttoned up, but they play with heart. They ankle biting.
The kitty went meow.
The Lions went into Arrowhead and made a statement. They showed the entire league we can beat anybody anywhere. So good for them. The Lions will probably be one of the most exciting teams to watch this season. And honestly, I don't think anybody can take them on in the NFC North right now, off the top of my head.
Well, that might be debatable now.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Next, we have the Bengals
That kitty did not go meow.
getting shellacked by the Browns. Holy crap. Now, you can say, it's the weather and everything, and Burrow wasn't 100%.
Burrow
Sure,
was injured, yeah.
but the other team was in the rain, too, so I don't really take that as an excuse. The Browns, the defense came to kill people, destroy them. They just came to destroy the Bengals. It would have been sad if it wasn't so freaking funny. I mean, it sucks because Joe Burrow is my quarterback in the fantasy league, but holy crap. For the first time in a really, really long time, the Browns are one of the scariest teams I've seen on the field. Offense, they did good enough. I mean, they ran the ball like crazy, which good, Chubbs did a really good job. Deshaun Watson starting to look like his former self. They didn't throw the ball much because, again, it was raining, and it's smarter to run the ball when it's raining. But holy crap,
Nick Chubb, you got to run the ball.
That defense was just killing the Bengals. And this was supposed to be an O-line that got better. So, Bengals, historically, they've started off slow. They got whooped last season, too, by, I think, the Steelers. So, will they bounce back? Probably. But this was, holy shit. If you're the Browns, you're really happy about this. It's a divisional win against the team that won the division last season. You're feeling pretty good going into week 2.
I mean, it was said that in last season, the Browns were supposed to be them boys. They were not.
They were not them boys.
It was Deshaun wasn't in yet. Baker, it was still Baker, right?
No,
it wasn't
gone
Baker
already. Yeah.
Who was playing for them as quarterback?
Who cares?
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, just some dude who's not there anymore.
Deshaun got his preseason games close to the end of the season last season, and my God,
they're looking scary.
Maybe they're looking like the real thing.
They are looking pretty good. Next, we got the Ravens just shellacking the Texans. Now, this game, the score for the final score for this game is kind of deceptive.
Oh, he looks so pervy.
Oh, yeah, it definitely looks like I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. The first half was completely different from the second half. The first half, the Houston defense was actually keeping the Ravens offense at bay. They were stopping them. They even injured their their starting running back for they got him out for the season. However, John Harbaugh, experience, I get it. First
they got
half,
OBJ too, right?
yeah, no, but I get it. First half, you don't know what the defense is going to show you. It's a new head coach. He's a defensive head coach. You don't know what to expect, and they were stopping you. Second half adjustments, John Harbaugh just completely destroyed them. What do you want?
The sheet.
The sheet? All right. Why?
Because I wanted to see how Gus is doing.
Okay. All right. So you're keeping score with Gus. You got the
Yeah,
the
I got
YouTube
the chat. I got it right there.
Yeah. Usually I have it here on the screen, but now I don't. So Eric's keep an eye on the chat.
Yeah.
But the point is, Ravens looking pretty good. The Texans, they showed potential. They went up against a really difficult team. They managed to hold on the first half. The second half, not so much. But they, for a team that's supposed to be all the way down at the bottom, they look pretty good. Respectable. I'm not going to say great.
And the Ravens are pretty much at full power. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
So again-
Lamar just got his big old contract. You got a bunch of players back. And I still don't know the Texans quarterback's name.
CJ Stroud.
Shroud or Stroud?
Stroud.
All right.
He did not look terrible. He did not look great. We'll see.
Look
Again,
better than Daniel Jones.
they were up against the Ravens defense, which was pretty good last
Yes.
season. So next we got the first shocker of the week of Sunday. Well, no, second. I guess the Lions is the first shocker. Then yeah, I think that's fair. Then the Browns in the next shocker of the week.
The
we
NFL's
got-
wild, okay?
Yeah, it's
and
been
we're ready
wild.
for the ride.
Yeah, it's ready. We're ready. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating the Minnesota Vikings. I thought the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would be dead on arrival, but the defense showed up and they just embarrassed the Vikings over and over. And the offense looked pretty good at times.
I mean, you still got Godwin. You still got Evans.
Yeah.
You got
Baker did enough to win, and they did. Now, if I'm the Vikings, I'm concerned because they're week 2. They're up against the Eagles, and so will honestly, the Vikings are my first pick for a team that's going to go to 0-2, definitely. But we'll get more to our who's going to be 0-2 next week. No, I'm sorry, when we make our picks for next week. But it's just not looking good. Not looking good over there in Minnesota. Which it's weird because the Vikings tend to start pretty good. Yeah, they get on a hot streak and then they lose it, but we'll see how that goes. Next, we got the Falcons facing off against the Carolina Panthers. These are two teams that are clearly in rebuild mode, but the game was interesting enough.
It was unfortunate, though.
The Falcons ended up beating out the Panthers. I'd say the Falcons have a pretty solid running game. We still need to know who the hell their quarterback is if they're any good. I think both teams started new quarterbacks. The game wasn't super interesting, but it was all right. I didn't think either team looked completely terrible. I mean, they didn't look great, didn't look terrible. Clearly, just two teams that are rebuilding, going off against each other.
We got to see them play against actual teams first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my point.
It's like the Texans. They play. If the Texans had played either of these two teams, it would have been a completely different game.
Completely different
so it's
game.
like we got to see how they do against the Ravens or someone who actually plays.
Yeah. Next, we have the Commanders hosting the Cardinals and surviving the Cardinals. This was closer than I expected.
The Cards showed signs of life.
Yeah, I mean, their defense played really well, and I think it's a fumble recovery that led to a touchdown that actually kept the game as close as it was. But still, clearly with Kyler Murray there, maybe could have been a different story. And the Commanders are nowhere near as on the level that I expected them to be. So this is a bad start for them. Respectable start for the Cardinals and for their new head coach. So we'll see where they go in the future. Next, we got the Jaguars beating the Colts. I wouldn't say handily, but I mean
comfortably.
They went into Indianapolis. It looked dangerous there for a minute, but in the second half,
I don't think they were ever down, right?
I think they were down a little bit at first, but in the second half they discovered that getting this Calvin Ridley guy was actually a pretty good idea. Turns out he good, and so the connection between him and Trevor Lawrence is there. The running game was there. Everything's looking pretty good over there in Tampa Bay. No, I'm not Tampa Bay.
Clown Town.
Clown Town. There you go. You see, I don't even remember the name of the town. I just know it's Clown Town.
And you just know that you can bet on Calvin Ridley being good.
How long were you waiting on that one?
Just came up with it.
All right, man, good for you. Next, the first smackdown of the week. And I mean,
This is a Super Bowl team.
fashion. We have
Right
the
there.
49ers, who probably have the best roster in the NFL, just embarrassing the Steelers in Pittsburgh, who the Steelers on paper have one of the best rosters in the NFL. But holy crap, that Purdy boy, he good. That Christian McCaffrey boy, he good. That Ayuk boy, he good.
Really good.
Dude, that Nick Bosa boy, he good. Like, it's actually pretty funny because towards the end of the game, the Steelers were started moving the ball, and because Nick Bosa was on the sidelines, and once they got on the red zone, it was like, okay, no, that's enough. Let Nick Bosa comes back in the game to stop them. I expected the San Francisco 49ers to be a Super Bowl team. The roster's too good. The coaching is really good. The only problem is, can you protect your quarterback the entire season?
That and Dario doesn't believe Shanahan can actually win at all.
Well, of course not, because he kills his quarterbacks. The point is, they're really good on paper. They looked really good on the field against one of the best defenses last season. We'll see how it goes, but right now they started off red hot, and
If they can stay healthy.
I can't think of a team that's gonna be able to stop them. Not after seeing how they played and how they just embarrassed the Steelers.
Ooh, are they gonna play? Are they gonna play the Cowboys?
Well, I think so. Eventually, I don't know. But the point is, there was a point of the game where the Steelers didn't have a yard in offense, and I mean not at the start of the game. I mean like like halfway through. It was just embarrassing. The defense is deadly, and the offense may be deadlier. So that's the scariest team in the NFL right now.
Ooh, I also feel bad for Gus, who says, I lost in fantasy because I went up against Tyreek Hill and the Dallas defense.
Oof.
That's a rough day, buddy.
That's a rough day for you. Next, we got the Tennessee Titans losing to Derek Carr and the Saints.
I told you, silver and gold made
Dude,
all the difference.
No, it wasn't that.
Or black and
It
gold.
was 15-16. The game was super close. Tannehill played. I did not expect that. But
Why not?
I thought he was injured. But that Saints defense is legit. That's the reason why they're in the game. There were moments where the Titans kind of showed signs of life, but the defense for the Saints just kept shutting them down over and over. There was a point where I think Derrick Henry was running in the open field. He ran for like 40 yards in one play, and they stopped him. I think one of the safeties stopped him. I was like, "Holy, that man has testicles! How do you put yourself in front of the Ninja Turtle man just running full speed downhill towards you?" But he managed to stop him.
Derrick Henry's getting to the last Ronin, where he's starting to get up there in age.
But good win for the Saints. The Tennessee Titans now are in an interesting spot, which we will discuss.
Good game overall.
Fun. Fun football. You could tell that Derek Carr still needs chemistry with Michael Thomas, but that number 22 wide receiver is actually pretty good.
Did you not find it difficult to root for the Saints because it was Derek Carr at quarterback? It felt instinctively wrong.
It felt dirty, but I had them to win, so I don't really care.
Fair enough.
It's one of those things. Listen, I picked them to win. I kind of want them to win. More so because of I like the defense,
but it's like, man, I've hated you for so long.
Yeah, I wanted bad things to happen to you, but we'll see.
All right.
Next, on one of the weirdest games of the week, we have the Denver Broncos losing at home against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Not because of Russell Wilson.
I know.
We'll say that.
Listen, Jimmy Garoppolo played good enough. All right, he came in. He scored some touchdowns. He did not make any big mistakes. But the shocker here is that the Broncos still lost.
They missed a kick.
Russell Wilson.
A couple of kicks, actually.
I know. So the Broncos did not look buttoned up either. Russell Wilson did not look terrible. He still does not look like the Seattle Seahawks Russell Wilson. And
it's because when he was so good, they had the freaking Legion of Boom,
I don't think that the relationship with Sean Payton is going to be that great. I think they're too different, and I think Sean Payton's not going to coddle him. So
That's why it should work.
they look better than. It depends on his ego. They look better than they did last season, but losing to the Raiders, who I thought, on paper at least, was the weakest team in the AFC West, is not a good sign. It's not a good start. I'm definitely concerned if I'm a Broncos fan, which I think a lot of our listeners are. So,
Like, you still got, like, Devontae on the other side. Like, there's freaking...
Devontae didn't do much.
No, but I mean, like, when you got weapons on your team, it's going to make it easier in general.
Sure.
And who's their... Jacoby Myers, was it?
Who, for the Broncos?
No, for the Raiders.
The Raiders is got Jacobs.
Jacobs. Like, you still got a bunch of weapons. Garoppolo has always been the definition of good enough.
Yeah.
So-
Listen, 20 out of 26, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's more than good enough to win a game. More than good enough. Josh Jacobs, 19 carries, 48 yards. He didn't do much. Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. Javon, on the other hand, you got Russell Wilson, 27 out of 34, 177 yards, 2 TDs, no picks. So it was a really close game. I mean, you can see by the score. It's just, at the end of the day, the Raiders looked more buttoned up, which is weird. The Broncos are usually the better organization, but in the end,
It's a divisional game. It's the first of the season. First game with Russell and Sean Payton, finally collabing. So
yeah, it's the first game with Garoppolo. Well, no, McDaniels stay.
I
they
would
had
not freak out.
chemistry.
I would not freak out if I'm a Broncos fan.
I would not freak out, but I'm concerned because you've already lost one divisional game against the easiest team at home. So your next game against them is going to be in Las Vegas. So I'd be concerned. I mean, the Chiefs can beat you in Arrowhead. The Chiefs will beat you in Arrowhead, and they definitely can beat you in Denver. The Chargers can beat you in Denver and can beat you in Los Angeles. The Raiders, they already beat you there. And now they definitely can beat you in Las Vegas. So I'd be concerned because of that.
Don't the Chargers usually lose in Denver?
That's why I didn't say win. I said can.
Yeah, fair.
So let's just, like I said, it's the first game of the season. They can turn it around. They can, things can suddenly start clicking. I'll never forget.
Russ will start looking better.
Dude, I'll never forget when frickin' Peyton Manning started off with the Broncos. It wasn't looking great. Then they had a game against the Chargers where they were under by like 3 touchdowns. And then all of a sudden, it started clicking. And they ended up beating the Chargers. And from that point on...
Yeah, it was the last game of the season. Isn't that where freaking Mike Williams got injured?
No, that wasn't the last game of the season. Mike Williams, that was last season.
I know.
I'm talking about Peyton Manning.
Oh, Peyton. Okay.
Yeah. And so all of a sudden, they just became this unstoppable thing. So,
is that when they won it all?
No. I think that's when they lost.
Oh, that was the Legion of Boom year?
Yeah, actually, I think that might be no, that's the season before because that's when the Broncos lost to the Ravens. I remember because my mom had the Ravens in the playoffs thing, and she's like, oh, yeah. I was like, oh, Mom, you're dead in the water. You're up against the Broncos who are red hot, and they beat them because again, John Harbaugh, and I think that's when the Ravens beat the 49ers for the Super Bowl. The following season is when they had the record-breaking offensive season, and they lost to the Legion of Boom. Which I had them in our playoff thing. So
that was a pretty crazy couple of years for Super Bowls.
Yeah, it was interesting. But next, we got the Eagles surviving the Patriots. Dude, the Patriots started off terrible. And I mean disgustingly bad, embarrassingly bad. I thought
Dario and I were texting during these games, and this was like, all right, so looks like the Patriots are dead as fuck.
Yeah, it's embarrassingly bad. They managed to come back and almost win it. They had a shot.
It was close.
Dude,
it legit came down to the guy who couldn't get his foot down.
Pretty much, yeah. But here's the crazy part. Look at the Eagles roster and look at the Patriots roster. One has a bunch of superstars. The other one has a bunch of nobodies and Ezekiel Elliott.
Well, no, because you can sort of pull the Avengers thing where it's like, I have an army and it's like we have a Belichick.
So that's what I was gonna say. That just shows you how much Bill Belichick can elevate a team, how much good coaching can elevate a team. Holy
I don't
crap.
think Mac Jones is their guy. I think
no, not at all. I mean, it was
he's
raining.
mid Jones. That's what he is.
It was raining, so it's not easy to pass there. And again, even the Eagles kind of struggled offensively.
I don't know. My Eagles wide receivers made a lot of points.
I guess. Yeah. The point is, Patriots are not as dead as I thought. Definitely not. Or are the Eagles, did they come a little bit, closer to ground? We'll see.
Chuck Dominguez saying, I think he's a Broncos fan. I think we are 0-11 against the Raiders. Is that right?
I choose to believe it.
You know what? We're going to...
I choose to believe
we're
it.
going to choose to believe that.
Sure, why not?
They might actually be 0-12. Now I think about it. I don't know if he counted this game.
I don't know. But, you know what?
Listen, we're about to get to roasting our team now.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. It's going to be brutal.
Yeah.
Next, we have the Seahawks getting embarrassed by the Los Angeles Rams. Which, again, shocker. I thought the Rams were dead. But turns out that boy Stafford, he pretty good.
The rumors of his demise were greatly exaggerated.
And that boy Aaron Donald, he good. And without Cooper Kupp, dude, it's actually pretty funny because there's a piece of audio where the cameras, the Fox cameras, actually managed to catch audio of Geno Smith yelling when he realizes that Aaron Donald is not blocked and coming straight at him. They're like, oh my God!
Oh shit!
It's pretty funny. But,
one of you guys is fucking fired.
Yeah, I did not expect this, but clearly the LA Rams, they're not going to be ignored.
Yeah.
And considering how weak the NFC is, this could be a playoff team. Unfortunately for them, they're in the same division as the 49ers, but, they're showing signs of life.
There's always wild card spots.
Yeah. Unfortunately for them, Cooper Kupp out for at least 4 games. He's put on injured reserve.
Hopefully
I know this.
They have an easy schedule.
I know this because I have him on my fantasy league. So
yeah. I got Kamara. So.
yeah, I also have
Same boat.
I also had Dobbins for the Ravens, who's out for the season. So I'm not doing pretty good in my fantasy league, but I did win.
All right, so
listen, I have Joe Burrow, who did like 3 points. I have Dobbins, who got injured. Cooper Kupp is in the bench because IR. I had Mark Andrews, who didn't play, and I still managed to win. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm just worried about next week because, again, my players, they're dropping like flies.
Look, my team did pretty damn good overall. I had Herbert as my quarterback, who 20 points. Not, I'll take it.
It's enough.
But the funny thing is the if you put it on auto, to pick you, I have a Herbie and I have Dak Prescott. and it recommended I put Dak Prescott.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? It's the first game of the season. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I'm gonna
go with
make
my boy.
the game extra exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And well, Dak Prescott ended up, they win 40-0.
Yeah.
Prescott did 6 points.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
We'll get to that when we get to that. But let's continue. We got the Dolphins.
Do we have to continue?
The Dolphins. How can I say this?
It was a good game.
Shocking the Chargers? Is that okay?
No.
Trampling the Chargers?
Listen,
No.
Tyreek Hill has experience breaking the hearts of Chargers fans.
Listen. We didn't know what a Kellen Moore offense was going to be. Now we saw it. I like it. I like how much they ran the ball. They ran the ball. Listen, if I told you that the Chargers are going to run the ball for 200 yards and they're going to win the turnover game 2-0, you'd be like, guaranteed victory, right? Well, guess what? You'd be wrong. Somehow the Chargers found a way to fuck that up, and I 100% blame Gus Bradley. Now, I know
I 100% blame J.C. Jackson.
I'm sorry. No, Gus Bradley is the former coordinator. I meant Brandon Staley. I 100% blame Brandon Staley. Now, at the end of the game, when the Chargers had, a chance to score and win the game, the offense got stopped. They got outcoached. Vic Fangio outcoached Kellen Moore. Clearly, you can tell that one dude has way more experience than the other. He never uses blitz. He used blitz to surprise him. That's good coaching. That's football. Kudos to you. You outcoached them one drive out of the entire game. And I mean, like, clearly and embarrassingly outcoached them. It's not good for Kellen Moore, but, you'll learn from this experience. Fine. The entire game, the freaking Miami Dolphins offense was just embarrassing the Chargers defense. Embarrassing. And this is not a cheap defense. You got some quote-unquote stars in there. And so if you have the talent there player-wise, why the fuck did you not double-team Tyreek Hill the entire fucking game? They did not double-team that man once.
Dude, you got
once.
You got Waddle out there. You got freaking Tyreek Hill. You got freaking my boy Mostert. Shout outs for the points. Like, this Miami team is legit, and I have been telling you, this Miami team is legit.
You know what?
The way I see this game, and this is like, maybe I just took all the copium, okay? But, like, maybe I'm high as a kite on copium right now. But the way I see this game is it was two good teams who played against each other, and one of them has to lose. And the one that's gonna lose is probably the one who made the dumbest mistake. Which team made the dumbest mistake? The Chargers, when they basically gave up 3 points right before the halftime.
Again, defense.
Yeah, and guess by how many points we lost?
Dude, no.
Immediately there, I could have just told it, oh, okay, so the Chargers are gonna lose because of that field goal.
Dude, I'm not gonna take the cope. I'm not going to take the cope. Because
I took it all.
Let's say, it's
my cope.
They have a really good team. They do have a really good team. They maybe have the fastest offense in the entire NFL. Fair enough. But you're telling me, oh, well, we didn't double team Tyreek Hill so we could stop the other wide receivers. You didn't stop the other wide receivers. We didn't double team the other wide receivers or Tyreek Hill so we could stop the tight ends. You didn't stop the tight ends. All right, we didn't double team so we could stop, the run game. You didn't stop the run game. So what the fuck was your game plan? And why didn't you adjust it? Why didn't you adjust, all right, this guy is running for 200 yards, Tyreek Hill. How about if we, double team? How about if we stop him at least? How about if we just stop that guy? I don't know. They weren't in peak physical condition. They weren't ready. They weren't prepared. The game plan sucked. There's so many things, and the pass rush was non-existent. So it's one of those things where I remember freaking Brandon Staley saying, like, well, the ball was in the air. Like, the ball was in the air. That's why they couldn't get to him. You know why the ball was in the air? Because the wide receivers were open. The only way that Tua can throw the ball is because there's somebody to throw the ball at. And so you weren't blocking in the back, you weren't rushing you weren't rushing up front, and you weren't stopping the run in the middle. What the fuck were you doing? What the fuck? You're supposed to be a defensive head coach. You have more than enough talent in that team. They've invested more than enough money. You got Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, freaking Derwin James, and Kendricks, supposedly one of the best freaking linebackers in the NFL. What the fuck excuse do you have anymore? I was ready to be like, all right, I'll be patient with this guy. It feels like he's learned from mistakes, but you just got embarrassed by the Miami Dolphins, horribly so.
You didn't get embarrassed. They lost by 2 points.
No, he got fucking embarrassed. Terribly.
If you lose by 2 points, you're not embarrassed.
Dude, when you rush for 200 yards, that means that you had control of the fucking clock. That means that your defense has been resting. All right, they've been resting a lot longer, and when the other defense should be tired. All right, and when you win the turnover battle. That means that you have an advantage because there's 2 plays at least where the other you had turnovers on the red zone, so you actually stole like points from the other team. They also missed an extra point. They got lucky a lot of times, and still they ran the ball down your throat and they passed the ball for what they had 500 yards of offense. That's embarrassing. If you're a defensive head coach, 300 yards of offense is embarrassing. 500 is you should get fired. Fucking fired.
No, embarrassing was the Jaguars-Chargers game and the playoffs.
All right, well
that was legitimately okay. I'm not even admitting in public I'm a Chargers fan now.
Well, guess what? Now we got back-to-back. We have back-to-back losses that are embarrassing. For different reasons.
Very different reasons.
Very different reasons. But again, both of those square and solely on the defense. All right, sure. Against the Jaguars, the offense, they could have scored at least a field goal on the second half or whatever. They could have done something. Sure, they didn't help. But they did score over 20 points. The defense only had to stop the other fucking team. Here, that's 2 games, or at least 6 quarters in a row where you just can't stop the other fucking team. And again, supposedly this guy got hired because he's a defensive genius. Well, guess what? All the teams have your fucking number. At least the Dolphins do, and the Jaguars do, and those are 2 teams that you're probably going to see in the playoffs, if you even make it there, because you may not, because the division is pretty difficult, and the conference is super difficult. So, and you already lost a game in the conference. So this is a terrible start for the Chargers. It should not have been anywhere near close. And again, this is my standard. If I can tell you what the solution is, that means that you're a fucking idiot. because I'm a fucking idiot. And if I
This
can
is
tell
very
you,
true.
if I can tell you, if I can see it, that the solution was double team that motherfucker, and you can't see it, that means that you're fucking retarded. All right? I'm done. Like I'm pissed off. I had high hopes. I thought that, this man had learned is, he's on the hottest fucking seat in the NFL right now. He's not going to do something stupid. He's going to be prepared. He's going to have his team prepared. He didn't. It's fucking embarrassing. And again, fire that man. Like, fuck it. For one game, just fire him. I don't care.
Well, I agree, you're a fucking idiot. But, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm sufficiently emotionally detached from the Chargers, where it's like, I'll always cheer for them when they're on the TV. But I'm not going to let you hurt me. No.
I protected my heart.
Yes. I will never truly love you again, maybe. But I have to protect myself from this team.
But how do you feel about Herbie?
Well, of course he's Jesus Christ come back to earth.
Listen, the offense could have done better. You could clearly tell that Herbert needed to play at least a little bit in the preseason. He did look rusty. The chemistry with most of the wide receivers wasn't really there, except with Keenan Allen. I think Keenan Allen caught the majority of the passes. I think Mike Williams only caught one, and the tight ends did the rest. So he needs time with the new wide receivers. On the other hand, Tua looks phenomenal.
Those guys were catching some wild balls.
No, forget that. He looked like a different player. Like, he gained, I thought, like 10 pounds of muscle.
I told you, he did MMA.
Yeah, dude, but no, I think he reinforced his neck muscles. Dude looked fast, strong, accurate. So Tua's looking really, really good. On the other hand, the Chargers, they look slow. They didn't look ready. You could tell that one team it was better coached, better trained than the other one. So that's 100% on the head coach. 100%. Anyway, do you want to say anything more about this game, or do you want to move on?
I just think the Miami Dolphins are probably going to be kind of good.
Honestly, as of right now, considering what happened in Monday Night Football, I think that the Dolphins are going to win that division. But let's continue. Next, we got the Green Bay Packers owning the Chicago Bears. Man, me and Eric just kept testing.
And the wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
Me and Eric kept texting throughout this game, and we were like, dude, there's going to be mass suicides in Chicago.
I told him, like, we got to open up Zillow in freaking Illinois area, because there's going to be a lot of homes available after tonight's mass suicide.
Dude, that's brutal. That's got to suck if you're a Bears fan. Just got to suck.
Because it wasn't even like the whole, it's a competitive game,
It
like
wasn't
whatever,
even
maybe.
close.
No.
At
this
home.
This was a humiliating game.
Oh, definitely. And against the worst rival possible. The Green Bay
Like,
Packers.
out of all of them. If it was against the Lions, fine, it hurts. If it was against the Vikings, fine, it hurts. They
Packers.
had to win this one.
Because against
Officially, Jordan Love has a better first
Aaron Rodgers.
statistic game against the Bears than Aaron Rodgers.
Dude, this is just brutal.
Were they just too much in their own heads?
I have no idea. I mean, the Packers had a good game plan. Aaron Jones played really well.
Aaron Jones was a monster.
The defense played really well. And
I did like the whole there's still an Aaron in Green Bay who owns the Bears.
The problem here, I think, is the Bears offensive play caller. They kind of had a little, they showed signs of life with their running back Herbert, and then they just stopped running the ball. It was really weird. They make Justin Fields run the ball, but he shouldn't. It's a defensive head coach, and he clearly does not know how to mentor a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, Chicago doesn't know how to run an offense.
Yeah.
This
And
has
so
been historical fact.
it was just one of those things that everything was clicking for Green Bay and nothing was working for the Bears because their plan was stupid. And so...
And that was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, definitely. Next,
And it's a new era for Green Bay. Maybe they win.
talk about the most embarrassing game
This is just funny.
of the week. The Cowboys in New Jersey, embarrassing, stomping, humiliating, peeing on the New York Football Giants.
Did you notice?
That wasn't rain. That was urine. That was the freaking Giants getting peed on, man.
Did you notice that the commentator said, like, when they're introducing the whole game, Sunday Night Football, he said, and we're here in MetLife Stadium, right across from the river in New York.
That's clever. That's really clever. Dude, how does this happen? The New York Giants looked pretty good last season. Was Kellen Moore the issue in Dallas? I'm starting to get concerned. Was Mike McCarthy a offensive genius? No, to be fair.
Well, I think he was the play caller when the Packers won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so to be fair, it was mostly the defense. The defense did a phenomenal job. They have an incredible roster. Special teams, too. It was also the Giants being fucking idiots. The rain didn't help either. The balls tend to fly out a little bit easier that way, but it's
but they didn't use Darren Waller at all.
They used him for one drive and then they stopped.
Yeah,
it's really weird. So overall, the Cowboys looked almost flawless. They ran the ball like crazy.
I could not believe that there were still Giants fans in that stadium by the end of the game.
Dude,
what are you doing to yourself?
Dude, I was listening.
It's raining also.
I was listening to sports radio, and one guy was saying, like, no, there's a guy, like, I know he's in the industry, who was in the third quarter. He messaged me, and he messaged our chat because we were all messing with him, like, because he's a Giants fan, and he was like, no, don't. Well, you'll see. Tomorrow's talking point will be that the Giants are going to win this. Tomorrow's talking point is going to be how the Cowboys collapsed. And I was like, dude, how delusional can you be? My God. There's a point where you can clearly tell that things are not working out for you, and they won't. And that's kind of
that after this game?
Like in the third quarter. Yeah. After the second quarter.
I guess I'm not the only one who took all the copium.
Yeah. So I think after the second quarter, it was pretty clear that this was it's not your night.
I wasn't even paying attention after the whole second half.
Well, to me, I was like, all right, I'll see their second quarter adjustments, their second half adjustments. They didn't work. Whatever they did didn't work. So congrats to the Cowboys. Now we're going to hear Cowboys fans being like, how about them boys? This is their season, blah, blah, blah. Don't get carried away. All right, it was a divisional game.
I look forward to them making it to the playoffs and losing in the first round.
It was a divisional game. It was in the rain.
I told you, the wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
If the Cowboys do well, you know what? Good. I'll be happy. My sister-in-law is a fan, so you know what? Good for them.
I have Dak on my fantasy still. I hope he starts making some points. Don't let the defense kill everybody.
So we'll see how that goes. The point is, it always makes me happy to see the Giants lose. I don't know why. Next, we got the most...
Everybody expected this.
Unexpected. Yeah, the most unexpected game of the week. It's actually pretty funny. Because I texted Eric. Like, what did I text you? Like, I can just see the text. Very early on. It was in the first quarter.
Yeah, I hadn't even turned on the game yet.
Eric hadn't even turned on the game. Let me see. Okay. Oh, okay. I texted him. Okay. I think I know what the thumbnail is going to be for this video. Eric's like, I only just turned on the game. What happened? Like, oh, you're about to see. It's pretty obvious. Aaron Rodgers going down before completing a single pass for the New York Jets. Who could have... Actually, I want to go back to last week's video because I think I offhandedly said Aaron Rodgers could get injured at the start of the game. Who knows? But, holy crap, I told you, the New York Jets are an incredibly built team, and they're an incredibly coached team. That defense is championship level defense. The only thing they were missing is a quarterback.
They still are.
I know. And what happened? They managed to embarrass the Bills? Would you say this was embarrassing?
I'd say it was embarrassing for Josh Allen. He had
Definitely.
A bad
they
night.
made Josh Allen look stupid. The defense, again, would just kick their ass all night. The running game was pretty decent for the Jets overall. It's just, like I said, the Jets are really well coached. They're really well coached. They have enough talent. They have incredible talent on defense. They're only missing a quarterback. And so it sucks that Aaron Rodgers was out of the game, because if they managed to win with the motherfucker, I can only imagine what they could do with freaking Aaron Rodgers in there. And
even Troy Aikman was saying, like, because at the end they were just trying to run the ball, and, kill the clock.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they were like, well, they're playing really conservative here, and you pretty much got it. But
Aaron Rodgers, Carter did one of the craziest catches I've ever seen in my life. Like, I think only Jefferson has Jefferson and Hopkins have crazier catches. The one for the touchdown.
It wasn't Carter, I don't think.
Is it Carter?
Wilson?
Is it Wilson?
I think it was a Wilson.
Okay, I forget his name. The
That
point
was
is,
the guy who was like doing
Yeah.
malabares.
sup, Chino? That's her cousin back there. And so, you want to know a fun stat? Now, I haven't checked this, but
Oh, is it the
But I believe it.
Josh Allen overtime stat?
No. Well, that's fun. Josh Allen apparently hasn't won a game in overtime.
He's
But
0-5.
Do you want
Like
to know
the Padres.
Do you want to know who was the best receiver for the Jets?
Wait. Was it a defensive player?
Yes. The dude who intercepted Whitehead, the dude who intercepted Josh Allen's 3 times. He's the only Jets player to catch 3 passes.
To be fair, that stat might be the same for the Cowboys game.
Maybe. I don't know. The point is, bad start for the Buffalo Bills. Because if you can't beat the Jets without Aaron Rodgers, who the hell knows what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers?
Do you think he's going to be... I think it's an ankle thing. I think Dak had the same thing like maybe a couple seasons ago. It's probably few weeks.
It's not broken. And I think Aaron Rodgers can play with a boot. Because I think Aaron Rodgers with a boot is still better than Zach Wilson.
But what about the running threat? Do you not remember when he did the slide?
Yeah.
And he did the belt thing?
Yeah, of course.
Obviously in Chicago.
Obviously in Chicago. Point is, great Monday Night Football game that I did not expect to actually be this fun or this dramatic.
But we did guess the outcome.
Dude, let me tell you something. And this is kudos to Saleh, the head coach of the Jets. I thought they were dead in the fucking water after their first drive when Aaron Rodgers left. I
think he thought so too. You could see his face being like,
no.
No.
But dude, again, kudos to him. He managed to, he grabbed his boys. He's like, we're a defensive team. Our defense will not let them score. They can't beat us if they can't score. We'll take the ball from them. We'll stop them. And our offense will be good enough. We'll get field goals. We'll get whatever. I believe in this team. We can do it. And so, they did. So good on them.
Man, I don't know what to think of these Buffalo Bills.
It's a bad start.
It's
to say the least.
It didn't look good. It is MetLife Stadium, which fucking sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But man, Joshy boy,
he needs to shake that off.
Is he just gonna be that number 3 quarterback?
Listen, fortunately for them, week 2 looks a lot easier for them, but we'll get into it. Let's start to make our predictions for.
I want to go first.
Week 2, Eric, you go first. We have Thursday Night Football, the Minnesota Vikings in Philadelphia against the Philadelphia Eagles.
You don't need to finish that sentence. Give me the Eagles.
Eagles, all right. This is going to be rough because I actually don't.
Week 2.
Yeah. Oh, you actually wrote it down. Oh, my God.
Of course I did.
Oh, my God.
Look at that.
Look
I'm a
at
Chad.
That. All right. I agree with you.
I told you. I already predicted the Eagles, so
Yeah.
I already have everything.
I agree with you. I agree. It's going to be the Eagles. Not that the Vikings are terrible, but
Eagles are they're still it, man.
And it's their home opener, so they're going to be fired up. The fans are going to be fired up. The Vikings, I think they're a little disheartened. So now let's see who God picks.
Oh, now it's my time.
And also remember, don't close the chat because if they put anybody puts their teams there, we need to remember and at least take a screenshot or something.
I caught it. Heads.
You didn't say what it was.
I thought you already knew. Well, heads is H, so that's home.
All right, perfect. That makes sense. All right, next we got the Ravens against the Bengals.
And the other side is Texas.
Oh, fair enough. All right, so the Ravens against the Bengals in Ohio. Okay? So in Cincinnati.
Okay.
I go first.
Yes.
All right. Losing 2 divisional games in a row is brutal. By the way, we already predicted. I think the Vikings are losing 2 in a row. First 0-2 team. Will the Bengals be the second 0-2 team? It's kind of hard to see. However, the Ravens played really well. They look to be things are clicking. Not like Cincinnati. So I'm gonna say that the Bengals are gonna be the second team to go 0-2. I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
Sadly, I'm gonna have to agree because this is a what have you done for me lately league, and Bengals did not start off hot, and the Ravens look like them boys. So I think it's gonna take a little while for the kitty cats to get a little steam. They got to wear that cool white and black uniform.
Dude, no, The problem is that they wore the one that's half white and half orange. That's stupid. They need to wear the all white one.
That's
you
one.
got one. That's one. That's one. See,
it's
it's not as easy as it looks, huh? You idiot.
Well, he never said it was. That's why I didn't want to do it. All right.
All right.
And it's heads.
Heads. All right. So God picks the Bengals.
I hope he's right.
By the way, how did God do last week? He didn't get all of them because he clearly didn't kill yourself.
No. That was going to be the thing if God guessed all of them.
Oh, yeah.
So,
all right. No. Okay. So he.
Right, wrong.
No, as long as he got one wrong, we still need to tally all these up.
Yeah.
Which Eric was supposed to do, and he'll do it again later. Next, we got a very interesting matchup. The Lions against the Seahawks in Detroit. Now, I say interesting because, again, Pete Carroll doesn't tend to lose 2 in a row. However, the Lions did have 10 days to prepare. So I think all the advantage goes to the Lions right now.
And it's the home opener, which the Lions have already sold out all of their home games.
Yeah.
That is a hardcore fan base.
Yeah. So I think the Seahawks are the third team to go 0-2. Picking the Lions to win this one. Eric?
Give me the kitty goes meow. I think we're gonna be agreeing a lot. Well, when we get to the shitty teams, we're gonna start disagreeing, I think.
Sure.
But I think the Lions,
They're looking pretty good, man. Like I said, they went to Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs. They can beat anybody anywhere. And that's a good thing to have in the back of your head. Especially for the coach. Because there's at any point, the coach will say, like, we beat the Chiefs at home.
That's Texas. So tails.
Tails. All right. So he went
Away. Because Texas is far away.
Yeah. All right. So God won the Seahawks. Next, we got the Texans hosting the Indianapolis Colts. Now, this is interesting because it's two shitty teams.
Yeah.
All right. You go first.
In the same division. I actually liked what Anthony Richardson was doing.
Uh-huh.
I think, Pittman played a good game. Overall, like, it's a rookie quarterback.
Against a rookie quarterback.
No, it's not. Lawrence is like his third year.
Oh, I thought you meant Texans versus
No, I mean like how the Colts did.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so it's like it was a rookie quarterback. You never expect them to win their first game, but he had a good showing, and that's kind of what you gotta hope. That's all you can hope for, really. For their first game, and I think I have more hope for the Colts here.
Okay.
Although I think you might disagree, and I think you're going to go because of home field advantage.
I'm going to go with the Texans because of home field advantage. And I said, again, I saw them play the Ravens. They played them pretty hard. They have a bunch of rookies there. It's a very young team, and it's not going to be easy, but I like DeMeco Ryans. He had the players motivated. He had them ready to play, and against a very, very difficult Ravens team, I liked what I saw. So I think they have enough to win at home. And, on their season opener. I think the Colts are the fourth team to go 0-2. God went with the home also?
Yeah, he went with home. This is going to be a one to watch for sure. It's a divisional game. Two new quarterbacks. So
next, we got the Chicago Bears going. Wait, where are they going? Yeah, Bucks. Here you go. Going to Tampa Bay to face the Buccaneers.
You got it.
Thank you. Now, I go first, right?
Sure.
I did not expect shit from the Buccaneers this season. However, the defense showed that they're still pretty good. I'm not going to say elite yet, but they're really good, at least, from what we saw against the Vikings. So, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this and the Chicago Bears to be the fifth team to go 0-2 this season. Eric?
I'm also going to pick the Bucks, and not because they're good. It's because the Bears
are bad.
What the fuck was that?
Bad news,
I think
Bears.
they may be the worst team.
Oh, dude, they're really bad.
I think honestly, if you put like the top 3 worst teams, one of them is the Bears.
2 hottest seats in the NFL, Chargers, Bears. Agree, disagree?
There was another one.
We'll get into that.
I feel like Mike McCarthy's seat is always going to be hot.
But not right now.
But a Cowboys head coach is always on the line.
Well, that redhead, Jason Garrett stayed there forever.
Jason...
The redhead.
I know, but...
The guy who always clapped.
Yeah, but...
God.
God. Yes. Head.
Head. All right, so we went with home. Everybody picks the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Next, we got the Kansas City Chiefs against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Clown Town in Jacksonville. This could be one of the most interesting games of the week.
It could be. Is Kelsey playing? Did they sign Jones?
There's a lot of question marks. I haven't heard anything about Kelsey or Jones, so I'm assuming not. Jacksonville Jaguars barely lost against them in the playoffs last season. So can the Chiefs start 0-2? That is the question.
I think they have before and won the Super Bowl, so I'm not going to say nothing.
Well, that's disheartening. You're looking at
I have to see if Kelsey plays. This is
that
mandatory.
is the question, yeah. Or if they,
same thing with Aaron Rodgers.
or if they grabbed, like a random fan from the stands, to just catch balls. Anybody like, hey, you got a Chiefs shirt? I don't have any pets. Whatever, man. Just come in here. We need somebody who's gonna catch a ball here.
Okay, it says Travis Kelsey injury update. Jay Glazer has good news for Chiefs fans. So it seems like he might be back.
He's not going into the IR.
He's trending in the right direction for week 2.
That doesn't tell you nothing. And guess what? Bad news, buddy. You're also not going to get any news about Aaron Rodgers, at least not today.
No.
So you need to. You're making these picks blind. What does your gut say right now? Will Kelsey be there or not? And if he is or if he isn't, will it be enough to win or not?
So I think we're talking up the Lions pretty good. Like, fun team. We really like them. Fairly strong.
Yeah.
But I think on paper, they're not really there at like the tippity top. I don't think so. Not yet. I think Jaguars might actually be getting to that conversation of, legitimate, every year
Contenders.
Mm-hmm. Especially in the division they're in.
Mm-hmm.
If Kelsey's not back, and I'm going to assume that maybe they want to keep him out to make sure that he's fully ready to go. I don't think the Chiefs mind going 0-2. I'm going with the Jags.
Going with the Jags?
Yes.
I agree with you. I think, first off, home field advantage is a big thing.
In Clown Town?
Yeah. Again, the Chiefs have not looked buttoned up, and until they look buttoned up, I won't believe that they are. I love Doug Peterson as a head coach. I don't know why the Eagles let him go, but I think he's doing a really good job there. Trevor Lawrence keeps getting better. The Jaguars in general got better. Calvin Ridley, he pretty good. The running game's there. So I feel like the Jaguars got better and the Chiefs got slightly worse. At least, from what we've seen on the field so far. Until one of their wide receivers catches a pass, then I might change my tune. But so far,
maybe
things look better.
Maybe it was a wake-up call for Kadarius Toney, but...
Maybe. But until he gets out of his own fucking head, what did God say?
Well, God obviously goes with the Chiefs.
Well,
unexpected.
Bandwagoner. Next, we got the Falcons against the Green Bay Packers, and I'm trying to find where it is. In Atlanta. So, will the Packers... by the way, we're picking the Chiefs to go 0-2. So, what's that, like the 6th team? That's a lot of teams that we think are going to go 0-2.
Which I don't think is uncommon for the beginning of the season.
So you got the Atlanta Falcons hosting the Green Bay Packers. So
the real question is to ask, who's the team that's going to be the last one who hasn't won anything?
We'll get there when we get there. So
the Bears.
Who do you think is going to win this one? All right.
Packers played really good.
Against the Bears.
Really good football.
Against the Bears.
Well, maybe they're just that good. Maybe Aaron Jones is a dog, and we have proven
against the Bears.
Aaron Jones is a dog.
Against the Bears.
I'm not going to go with the Falcons.
Against the Bears. All right.
I'm going to go with the Packers. I think they play good enough, and they justify my prejudice against those fuckbirds.
Listen, I want to pick the Green Bay Packers too, because overall they look better on the field. However, it is Atlanta at home. They're both kind of rookie QBs, and I don't think the Falcons are...
Hey, why'd you give me the Falcons?
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
He sabotaged.
No, listen, we would have known that was a mistake.
I would have been like, that does not look right.
Yeah, that's not... Cheetah.
Well, now I'm looking at everything.
Oh man, it's just the Packers looked really good against the Bears. The Falcons looked really good against the Panthers, who were at least, playing football out there. I don't know what the Bears were playing, but it was clearly not football.
But the Panthers are in a rebuild as well, so are they actually that? And they beat them pretty handily, like 2 touchdowns.
I know. I'm gonna go with the Falcons, just because of the home field thing. So, and
Well.
again, it's not a divisional game, so the Packers aren't as motivated to win. They're still motivated, but I think it's the Falcons having home field advantage is good for them.
You got what with the cheese heads?
Next, we got the Bills hosting the Raiders. Will the Bills go 0-2? Listen,
No, I don't
doubt
think
it.
so.
I doubt it. I don't know.
think we gave away our picks.
I don't know the status of Von Miller, but even without Von Miller, I think the freaking Bills should have enough to beat the Raiders. It's possible that I'm wrong. I mean, McDaniels did coach for the Patriots, so maybe he knows the Buffalo Bills pretty well.
For the Packers as well.
What?
You didn't put Godspeed.
Oh, God, pick away. Yeah. So they could surprise us, but I don't. Listen, the Bills are not the Broncos. All right. Josh Allen had one really bad game against an elite defense. The Raiders don't have an elite defense, and so they also don't have an elite offense. So I think the Buffalo Bills should not go 0-2. They should win this one pretty handily. You?
I agree. I think they just went up against a really good team.
Division rival too.
Division rival.
On 9/11.
Whatever that means.
Jets were motivated on 9/11. I don't know if you know that.
I'll skip through that and just say went away. Went away after that one.
Coward. Next, we got the Los Angeles Chargers
Do we have to?
against the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee. All right. So both 0-1 teams. One of these two has to walk out 0-2. On paper, and based off the games that I saw last week, the Chargers offense looked way better, right?
Yes.
Than the Titans. And the Tennessee Titans defense is not the Miami Dolphins defense. Also, the Tennessee Titans offense is not the Miami Dolphins offense. So the Chargers should be able to win this one if they double team DeAndre Hopkins, maybe. I don't know if they're smart enough. But they should, or at least if you're not going to double team DeAndre Hopkins, double team Derrick Henry, one of the two. If they double team one of the two, they should win. I don't know if they're going to do that because they're idiots and they're run by idiots. But they should win this one, but I would not be surprised if they go into the Tennessee Titans. They just don't look special. They don't look like they have that spark. Again, they went up against a really good Saints defense, but I don't know. Their defense did not look particularly phenomenal. They looked good, not phenomenal. The Chargers did look special on offense. It's a matter of how stupid is Brandon Staley, and will he or will the defense be prepared against a tough Tennessee Titans? We'll see. I think they can.
I think this is going to be one of those years where the team with the best defense is the one that wins the Super Bowl. Like, you know how every now and then it's like, well, this team's offense like fucking stinks, but God, that defense is good, and it wins a fucking Super Bowl.
Yep.
Example, the Ravens when they won with Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
So it just feels like one of those years that we got a lot of defenses that are really freaking good, and I don't see either of them on these teams.
No.
And maybe it's just going to come down to I think the advantage we have against the Titans is we have a better passing game.
Yep.
Because we have a better quarterback. And when there's it's a high scoring game, the Titans usually go down because they always depend on that run game with Henry. So they have to abandon the run if they're not controlling the ball. That being said, the Chargers do suck at stopping the run. So
And the Chargers do charger. Don't forget that.
they do, but I think they have a winning record against these Titans. I'll go with the Chargers. Whatever. I'm
Do you
still a little.
Do you want to spit?
I guess I'm still a little high on the copium.
I'm just looking at it as the Dolphins looked elite on all phases of the game.
And maybe they are.
They might be, they looked elite at least, and the Saints didn't. But both the Chargers and the Titans lost. So considering the fact that both games were pretty close, but the Chargers went up against a tougher team, that's what gives me the edge. But I'm not high on either of these.
No.
But what did God pick?
Away.
Away. All right. God never picks the Chargers. Next, we got the Los Angeles Rams hosting the San Francisco 49ers. And I don't think we even need to ask this one, right?
It'll be a better game than I would have expected, I think.
Shanahan tends to beat McVay, but I agree. It should be better than I originally thought. I just still don't think that LA can compete against that San Francisco roster. Again,
especially if Cooper Kupp's not back.
Yeah. And he's not going to be.
I'm not going against the 49ers for a while, so.
No, unless somebody gets really injured, I doubt it. So, what does God say?
Oh, I would assume it's a given, but all right, what do you want?
God, it's a coin flip. It literally can't be a given.
He went with the 49ers.
All right. There you go. Next, we got the Arizona Cardinals hosting the New York Football Giants.
No one's going to watch this fucking game.
Another team has to come out of here 0-2. Is it going to be the Giants? Is it going to be the Cardinals? Now,
neither of these teams deserve to leave with a win.
The Giants are better on paper. The Cardinals played hard. Is there any news on Kyler Murray?
I can look that up for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Usually you fill in, time here.
All right. So, like I said, the Arizona Cardinals surprised me. All right? They surprised me in a good way. I expected nothing from them, but they played pretty hard. The Giants surprised me in the opposite direction. I expected something from them, and they delivered crap. Worse than crap. Now, there's an advantage to being embarrassed at home in your season opener against your most hated rival. There's advantages to it. It lights a fire under you. It makes you react, especially considering that it should be a good team. However, the Cardinals are showing that they're not, pushovers.
No Kyler.
No Kyler. I'm going to go with the Giants. You?
Yeah, I think so. I think first off, we don't know what Washington is, so, they played a competitive game, but maybe Washington stinks.
Maybe.
It's a possibility.
It's possible.
And I think it's going to be one of those, wow, we got so embarrassed.
It's a slap to reality.
Yeah. It's like, all right.
Yeah. So
here's our humble pie.
I think the Cardinals are going to be the next team to go 0-2.
Yeah.
Next, what did God say?
Heads.
Home. All right.
All right.
That's the Cardinals. Next, we got the Dallas Cowboys hosting the New York Jets. This should be interesting. We don't know what the hell's up with Aaron Rodgers, so we're making these picks.
I'm going to assume he's not going to be
Assuming
in the game.
What?
I'm going to assume he's not going to be in the game.
Okay. So who do you pick?
Oh,
break
there's
it
going
down
to
a
be a
little
game
bit.
of the defenses. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys played spectacular on defense.
Yep.
But maybe the Giants just stink.
Maybe.
And the Jets played phenomenal defense, which is a level under spectacular. But they played against, theoretically, a better offense. A top-tier offense.
Yep.
An offense that people are saying might make it to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So maybe they are them boys. And they did win with Zach the motherfucker Wilson. I think the weaknesses in offense are going to be the difference here. Like, I think the Cowboys defense is going to dominate the Jets offense pretty handily. So I'm going to go with the boys. Although I think statistically it's a bad idea to pick Dallas a week after they blow out a team. Because that's what they do.
Listen, I agree. The Cowboys defense is way better than the Bills defense. And I mean by far. So I'm inclined to pick the Cowboys, but the New York Jets just showed that they could, win a game on defense alone. So I'm going to pick the Jets. Again, I was really high on the Jets before. There's a possibility that Aaron Rodgers will be there. Also, having Aaron Rodgers on the sideline is very different than not having him in the building at all. So he can coach Zach Wilson a little bit, talk him up, giving some tips. I think that the New York Jets can squeak one out. I think the advantage is to Dallas by a lot. Home field advantage, better QB, a whole lot of stuff. However, I think it's fun to pick underdogs every once in a while, and I think that this is an underdog that could surprise the Dallas Cowboys. Advantage to Dallas, though, is that, it's a short week for the Jets. But I don't know. I think they're really high on their victory right now, and they can keep that going. Again, they have in the back of their minds, we can stop these mofos. And so that if you're a good head coach, you can carry that momentum forward. And I think Saleh is a really good head coach. So I'm going to pick the Jets.
Well, that's the thing. We still have to figure out if Dak is any good.
Yeah.
He didn't play.
Yeah. So who are you picking for what they got pick?
He went with home, and that bugs me because this coin has heads and then Texas. I was like,
Yeah.
Feels wrong.
Yeah, I know. Next, we got the Washington Commanders visiting the Denver Broncos. Two teams that are massive question marks. This is going to be a difficult pick.
No, not 0-2. The Commanders won.
Yeah, Commanders won. So will the Broncos be the next team to go 0-2?
You go first?
I go first. Listen, I don't know what the Commanders are. I saw that game. It was close against the Cardinals. Then again, I saw the Broncos game, and it was close against the freaking Raiders. The difference is that one team found a way to win, and the other one didn't.
Divisional rival.
Oh, man. The Broncos should win this one. They should. If they learned their lessons from the previous game, I'm going to go with the Broncos. I don't like it, but again, the Broncos are in a pretty deep hole right now, divisionally. So they need any victory they can find, and this is a game that they need to win. So I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos.
I'm going to go with the Horsey boys as well. I think the Commanders barely squeaking out a win against the Cardinals the way they are. I don't think it's the Cardinals being good. I think it's actually telling of the opposite. And he went with the home.
Home? All right.
Denver has home field advantage. So
yeah.
I think they can squeak out a win. I think Wilson's going to keep getting a little bit better.
The team overall should get better. So we'll see. Next, we got the Patriots hosting the Dolphins. This should be interesting. This should be very interesting. Does Bill Belichick have the formula to stop the red-hot Miami Dolphins? What do you think? I think I went first on the other one. It's your turn.
Okay. Division rivals. They're playing it in Foxborough. And Patriots almost came back against the Eagles, but it was raining. It was kind of a weird thing. Fuck it. I'll keep my copium thing going, and I'm going to assume the Dolphins are just good.
Okay.
So I'll go with them because the difference here is I don't think either defense is particularly great. And I think this is going to come more down to which offense do I think is better, and Dolphins are pretty damn explosive.
Listen, the Patriots and the Bill Belichick way is they take away what you do best. And what they have best is the passing game and Tyreek Hill. So theoretically, they should take Tyreek Hill out of this game. That leaves Waddle, who's pretty good.
Gesicki.
I think he's not there anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't see him in the last game. And Mostert, who I think is one of the best, most underrated running backs in the league. On the other hand, I do think that the Dolphins' defense is way better than the Patriots on paper. So the Dolphins should win this one. But man, it doesn't feel right going up against Bill Belichick, especially the way they played the Eagles. At home,
that's kind of a coin toss.
Listen, the Dolphins have gone to freaking Foxborough and beaten the Patriots, even in the Tom Brady era. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. The Patriots will play them close, but I don't think they're gonna be able to beat them.
God goes home.
God goes home. All right, we'll see what he knows. Next, on the first Monday Night Football game, we got the Saints in Carolina visiting the Panthers.
We already had Monday Night Football.
There's 2 Monday Night Footballs.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like the first of the season.
No.
I'm like, what was today?
There's two Monday Night Football games.
I got you.
All right, so in Carolina, Saints versus Panthers. Listen, the Panthers are in rebuild mode. I think the New Orleans is the best team in that division so far. Maybe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can beat them, but I don't know. I mean, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers struggled against the Saints with Tom Brady. I think they should struggle even more with Baker Mayfield. So I think the Saints should beat
Derek Carr.
Everybody. What?
Struggle more against Derek Carr, right?
No.
Oh, with Mayfield as a quarterback. I got you.
Yeah. I think the Saints should beat out every single team in that division, and so I'm going to pick the New Orleans Saints.
I'll go with the Saints just based on defense alone, although it seems like God has betrayed his own kind. He's going with the kitty.
Is it because of Derek Carr?
Maybe.
Next,
I don't blame him.
Another pretty interesting game, divisional game, Monday Night Football. The last game of the week, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers hosting the Browns, the Cleveland Browns, the red-hot Cleveland Browns, the thoroughly embarrassed Pittsburgh Steelers. Whew, Eric, this is not an easy one. Who are you going to pick?
Yeah, it's not easy.
Being cheesy.
Man, if the Browns win, they're going to be 2-0 in the division.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Solid
it is
start.
the Steelers at home. They do have that one song that they sing.
Who cares?
Yeah. Oh, man. Do I think they're going to be able to stop the Browns? No, I don't. No, I don't, sadly.
Okay.
I think the Browns, at least for a little bit, they're going to be the top dogs there. Maybe they're going to get their groove back. But for the moment, I think the Steelers, especially after that performance last week, I think they're going to be the last 0-2 team.
Listen, it's tough because I don't trust the Browns.
No.
However, I did see them on the field the other day, and that defense looked legit.
I told you, it's the year of the defense.
Deshaun Watson is considerably better than Kenny Pickett, even if he still doesn't look 100%. The running game for the Browns is better than the running game that we saw for the Steelers. Again, it was against the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco 49ers can embarrass anybody. But, man, based on the performance on the field, I think the Browns should be able to handily beat the Steelers. And so I'm going to go with the Browns.
I think this is going to be the week where one of us gets like really ahead because I think our predictions are going to be mostly wrong because then it's the first fucking week, you know? Like we're doing this based on one game.
Listen, we didn't disagree much. We disagreed on 1, 2, 3. So...
And what did God think about this one? Ha! I got the under. Away.
All right. So there you go. Those are our picks. Anything else you want to add?
Man, this NFL storyline just keeps getting wilder and wilder, doesn't it?
It's a good start to the season. Very exciting. You know, Lions, Chiefs, hell of a start.
We're officially in the post-Brady era of the NFL.
Maybe post-Rodgers.
It could be post-Rodgers. So
will he ever play again?
Like, who's the oldest quarterback now? Russ?
Let me think.
Derek Carr?
I think
Garoppolo?
Dude, I don't even know.
Like, think of the stars now. It's Mahomes, it's Burrow, it's Allen, it's Lamar, it's Herbie. Like, Mahomes came in 2017.
Yeah. All right, so Tyrod Taylor, Nick Foles, blah blah. Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins. He's 34. That's old.
When did he start?
Tannehill, 34.
Okay.
Matthew Stafford, 34. Stafford. Dude, they all came in the same year.
Yeah.
Nah, he's not playing anymore. No. But
no, these are just backups.
No.
Matty Ice is still there?
No, he's out.
Flacco's still there?
Aaron Rodgers, 38. So the oldest is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if he's out, then the next one
We're hopping
Is-
over for like 6 or 5 years.
it's a tie between Stafford. All right, Stafford, 13 years active, 10 years active. Tannehill,
I think Stafford is the most active.
most and Kirk Cousins,
After
10 years
Rodgers.
active. Yeah. So yeah, the most active. Oh wait, does it? It tells you exactly how old they are. 34, 2 months, 19 days.
How many minutes?
3 months, 11 days, and 9 months. Okay, so Matthew Stafford.
Have you ever seen that website that tells you how many days you've been alive?
I don't want to.
It says like a bunch of fun facts if you just put like your birth date.
I don't care about that stuff.
I like a couple of months ago I passed 10,000 days alive.
Hey, congratulations!
Well, I finally made it, guys.
You finally did something important.
I think we're all gonna stay in the 5 digits.
What?
We don't make it past 5 digits, right?
I don't know.
Well, it took me 27 years to make it to 10,000, so I don't think I'm making it to 100,000.
Yeah, no, you're
Okay.
you're done. All right, so that's it for today. As always, comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Super Dario World and at DariusTW. If you want to be a part of the game, like I said, send us your picks. Either comment on this video or send me a message directly to either of those things. Again, at Super Dario World and at DariusTW. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel. And Eric, anything you want to shout out?
Yeah, follow me on Opus Harmony at Instagram, on the gram, how they call it.
Yeah.
And you can find
Also-
all the good stuff there.
Cool. Also, don't get mad about our picks. We don't know shit about fuck.
No.
I think it's pretty clear from our results.
Have you not heard
how are we?
us talk?
9 and 7?
9 and 7, yeah.
Like, listen, I'm the first person to call me an idiot. I don't give a fuck. So
No, you're not. I was fast on the gun.
Listen. I've lived longer than you. I called myself an idiot before you were even born. So
That is
Suck on that.
5D chess. Literally, because that's before space and time.
suck on that. So there you go. As always, thank you for joining us, and I'll see you again next time.